Hello everyone, Jeff Gamble, Indianapolis, Indiana, and today we're going over law number 19, the law of timing. We're going to enter some people on here and get rolling. Hope everybody's doing well. Good morning to some, good afternoon to others. What is going on? Hope you had a great weekend. Chrissy, David, Will, Travis, what's happening? Hi Julie, how are ya? Joyce is with us. Hello, hello. What did you guys do this weekend? Anything fun and exciting other than work, getting things done? That's what we're doing. Making it happen. Hey, let me see here. We jumped on a minute early, so send out the invite. Adrian's with us. Hello. Guys, what was exciting this weekend? Anything been going on? Something fun, hopefully. And Bess has joined us. Hold on.
Yeah, Jeff had an amazing weekend. Lots of wonderful things happening. Last night we had an awesome training, the Quick Start Basics, and really good feedback from that, and that's growing. And the Sunday night class that we teach, very happy. So welcome everybody to this law number 19, the law of timing. And I was 1 minute late. So we are Bess McCarty of the MLM Millionaire Club School for Network Marketers, also the Shrink of MLM, and Jeffrey David Gamble of My Leadership Network, also a certified John Maxwell trainer. And we partnered to bring you these noon Eastern time, MLM lunchtime leadership shows. This is generic training for all entrepreneurs, because our purpose is to help people grow, to equip, empower, and educate entrepreneurs and create independent servant leaders. If you're watching the replay, we'd love if you type that in, and so we could thank you for that, and also love to hear where you're from. We love to come and sit with you for these shows. It's really special to us to be able to share and contribute to the profession of network marketing and help it to grow. People that watch these shows, they grab pen and paper because they know what's coming. There's going to be an avalanche of tips and information. But see if you can just grab $1 million idea today to put into practice in your business. Because if you improve 1% a day over a year, you get 365%. So would like to welcome everybody who's come on and hear more about the law of timing. Jeff?
Awesome. So let's get into this. John says the law of timing. Only the right action at the right time will actually bring success. And if you've been building direct sales or been in network marketing trying to recruit a bunch of people, you probably have run into this law. Learning the law of timing, it says, when to lead is as important as what to do and where to go. Timing is often the difference between success and failure in an endeavor. One of the things I learned that there's a science behind achieving. There's a science behind saying the right thing and doing the right thing at the right time. But I've also found that there's a timing to it. So the art is really the timing. You can know what to say, you can know who to say it to, but if you bring it up to them as they're walking into the DMV to take a test, that's probably not the right time to talk to them. They're just not going to be there. The same is true when you're at a restaurant and you're sitting with, you know, a friend, and you see somebody you know, and they end up sitting down right next to you. Some of us in direct sales are so excited we want to go over and talk to them right then without maybe building any rapport. I always leave the message for the end when I'm leaving, not the beginning. If the meeting wasn't specifically set up for me to tell them what's going on, if I don't know that I have the time frame to tell them everything, I tell them little to nothing, meaning I'll just get the contact and set up another time. Most of us just go overboard when we're new and want to try to say too much, too fast, without any skill, without any reasoning behind it, just blabbing about what we do. And yes, that's sponsored people in the past. That's the problem. You know, you will have that one person who had influence where that worked, and then everybody else goes out and tries to do it without the proper wording, without the science behind it. And then it falls apart, and people are like, well, why didn't this work for me? Well, sometimes it had a lot to do with timing. It wasn't that you did the wrong thing. It wasn't that you said the wrong thing. It's you said it at the wrong time. Living the law of timing, it says every time a leader makes a move, there are basically 4 outcomes. The first outcome is the wrong action at the wrong time leads to disaster. Trying to go to a funeral and do a presentation is the wrong time to do the presentation, you know? And I've seen people do this at, I mean, every situation. If you've been in network marketing long enough and it grows big enough, people will get into these conversations. I mean, you attend a funeral, the person on your team has passed away, and there's a new team member there. They've brought somebody, you know, that you know, drove them or whatever, and they're trying to break you into another room. No, we can use this room over here and just talk to them. No, it's the wrong time. It's not the right time to do it. And I'm trying to be funny, but I think you can probably tell I'm actually telling a real story of something that happened to me. They tried to pull me into another room at a funeral. I was like, guys, not now. This is not the right time to do this. But that's where people are at. Their brain turns on and they're like, I have to get somebody. I'm like, this is not the right place. So 2, the right action at the wrong time brings resistance. So yeah, you know, sharing this with somebody is good, but sharing your program with somebody, there's another situation. Hey, can you come to my birthday party? Yeah, we're going to do, you know, a cookout and barbecue and blah, 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 blah. There's going to be drinks. There's going to be a pool party. Great. Let's do it. I come to the pool party, and all of a sudden the music dies down and somebody gets on a microphone, and now Jeff Gamble is going to present at the pool party. I'm like, that's perfect. A bunch of drunk people in a pool, all have cups in their hand, want to listen to me over the music. I'm like, guys, right activity, wrong time. You know, if you want to do a party specifically for a launch of your business, let's do the party. Let's not do it while everybody's drinking and this, that, and the other thing. The next day they wake up, they don't know what they're in. I'm like, you're not helping the situation. So proper timing requires understanding, maturity, confidence of knowing what to do, decisiveness, making the decision to do it, experience, and then preparation. When you've done it wrong a lot, it's easier to do it right. Number 3, the wrong action at the wrong time is a mistake. Well, that makes sense. You know, if you're following up with somebody before you actually present it to them, that's not going to work. I find a lot of people just try to drag people to events without them knowing what's going on. I find that is basically the wrong action, but it's the right timing. They're at the event. They're supposed to be at the event. But when you drag somebody blindly, or they don't tell them what they're coming to. Oh, just come with me. My friend's doing something, and I told them I'll be there. So I'm just coming, because they heard a story of that happening once. So now they're blindly dragging people to events. The person is violently opposed to direct sales. The person is not dressed well, meaning they're not dressed appropriately for the event because they weren't told what it was. They come, they feel embarrassed by how they're dressed. And you can see it in their body language. You know, they're sitting there and they're kind of like arms crossed, legs crossed, eyes crossed. You know, they cross, you know, more things if they could. And they're just not into what's going on. And then all of a sudden their friend's like, aren't you excited? Aren't you excited? No, you knew what we were coming to and you lied to me. So how do you think your business is going to start out well based on a lie to begin with? The wrong action at the wrong time is a mistake. And number 4, the right action at the right time results in success. That's how you actually win, is when you're doing the right things at the right time. You know, if you open the door and say, hey, now that you've seen this several times, I would love to introduce you to some of the successful people I work with. That makes more sense. Tim's with us, Dakota's with us, Vicky's with us. What's happening, guys? So that makes a lot more sense. Now, 5, it says Winston Churchill described it this way: there comes a special moment in every person's life, a moment for which that person was born, that special opportunity that when he seizes it, it will actually fulfill his mission to be able to move forward. Dakota said, I had to give love. All right. Thank you, sir. A mission for which he is uniquely qualified. In that moment, he finds greatness, and that's his finest hour. So it's just, it's amazing when you get the timing right for all of this, and you get the words right, and it flows out, and it happens. Meaning, you run into somebody, and you finally know what to say. You finally know what to do. It finally makes sense. And all of a sudden, you bring them on board. Guys, when you share this with the right person at the right time, with the right presentation, it is amazing how easy it is. And the person just shakes their head and was like, oh, okay, let's get started. I've watched people talk other people out of it because they don't believe it's so easy and so simple. You know, they'll be like, okay, you're ready? Yeah, and this is what we do. And the person's like, cool, let's go. You know, I'm ready to go. No, you have to try all our products first. We have this and this, and there's a ticket to you have to get in to it. Here's our ticket. I want you to come to the event first. Don't get it. You know, they're completely out of order. They're caught off guard because when you get all this right, it just happens and it flows. 6, this is what we call being at the right place at the right time with the right awareness. When you kind of just, everything flows together and the person's ready, and all of a sudden, it takes forever, it seems, for some people to get in. For some people, they get in right away. But I think the best feeling in the world is when you realize somebody else on your team sponsors somebody else for the first time and you had nothing to do with it. All of a sudden, you're concerned. You're like, well, I didn't help them. I had to help. I thought we were supposed to help people. You don't understand that this is supposed to break away and move away from you without you physically being there. That's what freedom is. I love that the fact that that's what people want. And then all of a sudden it happens. And then people are like, well, I don't know if I want this so much anymore. You know, I want to be involved. So timing. So that was 6. 7, the law is easy to see in sports. This timing issue is about when to pass, jump, stop, go, punch, block, duck. Timing matters. I watched a great video the other day. A friend of mine from Indiana, Chris Lights Out Lytle. He actually was a UFC fighter. He's been in jiu-jitsu, wrestling. He was a state wrestler. Decided to go into bare knuckle boxing. Amazing, crazy. It's cutting out. I can hear about every 5th word. Bess, is everything coming in fine? It may be Julie's connection. How are things coming in? And Bess seems to be frozen as well. So maybe it's my phone. I don't know. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Put that out there. I have no idea. So timing, Chris Lytle. It's one punch and it's out. And we were all just waiting for that moment where he would just swing, connect, and it was over. Watched it happen in the first round. Again, it just seems like his timing, he just waits. He is a defensive fighter. He times people out, waits, sees the opening, throws a couple times, and if he connects, it's all over. And I think in UFC, you watch the greatest knockout hits. It has a lot to do with timing. I can't tell you the number of time. We can hear you, but not Bess. I got a caution sign. Okay, so Bess is going to come back on here in a second. So that's just something that I found. In sports, you can see timing. In football, it's the last second. You know, you can see people take off, stutter step, right, left, and then they take off. They lose people. It happens in soccer. It happens in baseball. It's just a split second to know when to go, and then all of a sudden it makes it work. So timing has everything to do. In horticulture, it's when to plant, when to water, feed, prune, spray. Spray? Yeah, spray, graft, chip, or harvest. Timing matters. In relationship, when to meet, greet, love, discipline, take applaud, challenge, or praise. I have a really funny trainer. He's like, so when you first went out with somebody, he talks a lot about timing in recruiting. He goes,
recruiting is a lot like dating. He's like, if you're going out with somebody for the first time and, you pick them up and you might go to eat and you're eating and you're talking, he goes, how do you know it's going well? And, people are like, well, it's because the conversation just seems to flow and, eye contact and, the other person's smiling and, the other person's laughing and you're joking and it just seems easy. He's like, that is basically how recruiting should be. He goes, and then, maybe you guys go see a movie and, the movie is, going well. And let's say there's a scary part and all of a sudden the other person reaches over and grabs your hand. He goes, how's it going? How's the date going? And everybody's like, oh, it's pretty good. He's like, the same thing is true in recruiting. Not that you're supposed to hold hands and, go that direction. That's not what I'm saying. But that's part of it. You have to know timing when things are going good. He's like, when to go in for the first kiss. He's like, it's timing. You have to know when. He goes, obviously, if you meet somebody for the first time going for the kiss, he's like, when do you tell somebody that you love them? He's like, if it's in the first 10 seconds of meeting them, be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for going out with me. I love you. We're going to get married and have kids. That is probably not the right time. That would scare somebody off. That would make somebody run. And I see a lot of people in business do the same thing. They share with people the business. They share with people what they're doing. And here's the thing. When you're new, you expect somebody to marry it right away because you love what's going on. You love what's going on, so you're trying to get them to marry it instantly rather than talk to them and just get to know them and let the process happen the way that it's supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. A lot of times we're trying to force the result and force the speed before it's there. In leadership, when to hire, fire, promote, demote, forge ahead, slow down, rein in power, accountability, hold accountability, reward, buckle down, recruit, get somebody to training. All of that has to do with timing. So timing is super, super important. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this back over to Bess to get her insight on timing and her thoughts, and then we'll come back.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeff, for all those tips. And I want to say hi to Julie Joyce from Austin, where I used to live, and Adrian, Lynn, Jonas, Travis, Rosemary, Monica from El Paso. I know a bunch of friends there. And Alan, Becky, Emmy, and Vicky, and whoever else has joined since I was out for a few minutes. So and also if you have questions, please type those in because we'll be handling questions shortly. So timing in network marketing, pretty exciting, I think. Actually, I'm not in network marketing now. I was full-time for years and helped me raise my son as a single mom as a network marketer. But right now, I just teach and coach and completely dedicated to being a generic coach. So the way that I prospect is for people for our classes. And it was just late Saturday night that a lady called and was very interested in our classes. As soon as she heard about it, she got so excited, I couldn't believe it. And she goes, oh my gosh. And she signed up immediately and said, and I'm bringing my team because it's a no-brainer, at that low cost of the class, they've all got to be in. So it's like she immediately got it. Somehow it was the timing for her. She had just joined a new network marketing company. I think it was her first one. It is her first one. And she knew she needed the guidance and direction. And it was a perfect match at the perfect time, even though it was late at night, so that she could sign up so that she could be in time for the class the next day. So her intuition told her it's too late to call this person. It's too late to call Bess. But she went ahead anyway, which turned out to be the perfect timing for her. So I want to say, encourage us to follow our intuitive nudges. Learn to trust and follow those things for the right timing. There may be a reason that you're nudged to call somebody late at night or on a Sunday morning or any time that you think it might not normally be the good time. If you're getting a strong feeling, go ahead and learn to trust that and test it out. Call it, you may try it out and call up the person and find out that, oh my gosh, they were just thinking how they needed something right now that you have, whether it's, with health or with business. So that's the adventure that I personally love and enjoy about the law of timing, is not only using my head and my common sense and say, okay, I'm not going to talk to somebody about business at a funeral. So using my head, but also using my gut level feeling about things. To me, that's the law of timing. So I have a few examples of how it looks in network marketing. And one is wait for the high noon. It said that a person's readiness to hear what you have to say, like the lady who called that night, the person's readiness, where are they on the clock? If high noon is totally ready and needing and wanting and hungry for what you have, they may be at a 2 or 6 or 9 because the events in their life or the preparations that need to come as a personal growth or something like that before they're completely ready may not be done. But remember that a person's always on a clock, from 12 all around the clock. So we don't know where their readiness is. And if you have presented to someone and they say not at this time to you or not at all, that could change. In fact, people's situations do change. Somebody's totally happy at their job and they can't see any reason to do network marketing. They think they're going to be there forever. Then they get laid off. Now they see a good reason to have a plan B. Maybe they'll get another job, but they'll say, hey, let me develop this business on the side with my other job because I could get laid off again. So things can happen in their life to make a person hungry, to open their minds until they have a need, until their need matches what you offer. Then they would be at high noon. So don't give up on people that you've presented to. Stay in touch with them. They call it drip in marketing, dripping on the people. In other words, be in touch, drop a little health hint for them. See how you can help, check in, see what's happening in their life, let them know the latest news that's coming up in your business or the latest cool thing. So we be in touch. We circle around, cycle around, and be in touch. Because you may hit them at the exact moment when they needed you, but they forgot about you. So that's the purpose of staying in touch regularly. Being on Facebook is a really easy way to do that and check in with friends, or even an email group. So just like I'm saying, don't give up on your prospects because of timing. Don't give up on your sleepy team members. A client of mine we've talked about Holton Bugs on here, who for a while was the top earner in network marketing in the world. And he said Holton was on his team years and years ago. He said he was way, 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 way down there on his team, a sleeping guy, never did anything. He was like 16 levels below him or something like that, Holton Bugs. So, but when it was Holton's time, he might have been learning and gathering. There's 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, and fall. In the winter, the tree looks like it's dead. It's naked of leaves. It looks totally dead. There's no life that you can see. At least in my area in winter, it looks totally lifeless. But you can't see it. But the sap is rising in that tree during the winter, preparing to put out the buds, to be the leaves and the fruit and everything for spring. So it's when that tree is sleeping that it is preparing to explode in green and colors and fruit and flowers in the spring. So stay in touch with your sleeping team as well. Number 2 tip about timing is that I had here for network marketers: help people have fast success. When they sign up, help them to get paid and promoted fast, as Jeff always teaches. Help them to get their first customer and distributor fast. Help them to get their starter money back fast so that they don't cool down. You got to strike when the iron's hot, when they're enthusiastic. Number 3 for network marketers is the timing of the year. Income tax return is a good time when people have money for a starter kit, or New Year's when it's time to start a new cycle, or they have credit cards to pay off from the holidays, or even fall when they can look ahead and earn some Christmas or holiday money ahead of time. But I learned, don't call people when the Super Bowl's on. It was when I was network marketing, I was calling around and somebody said, don't you know there's a game going on? What's wrong with you, girl? And it's like, I was totally oblivious to sports, didn't matter to me, so why would it matter to the next person? Like, that's just being so involved in me. So I think a lot of the law of timing is about being aware of what's happening, what matters to other people. Stand in their shoes and see what's the right timing for them. Also, the right time of the day, right? You go into a restaurant, if you want to eat, a very good time is 2 to 4 p.m. because the servers are not going to be too busy, whereas rush time during lunch or dinner time, they won't have a lot of time to talk with you about another option, to see if they are open to doing something outside of what they're doing. Also, check the time zone of the people that you call, your prospects and your team members. Some people just forget about that. So that's real important. Do you want to be calling somebody at 11 p.m. their time when you're up and awake and you're fine? What's wrong, you know? So, and also be aware if they have kids. What's bedtime? Like, 7 to 8 or 9 p.m. is dinner and bedtime for people, bath time. So see if they have kids. You try to anticipate their needs and the right time to call. Check their Facebook pages to see what's happening with them lately. Did a parent just die? Did their dog just get hit by a car? So that you can match the timing better. We have taught a lot about the 4 personalities. There's 2 of them that are fast decision makers. The D and the I, or the dominant and the influencer, or the aggressive and the fun-loving person. They think fast, they make fast decisions, so you can expect that. You can roll with them. Like Jeff says, if they're, I'm ready to go, no, you must try the products or all this. Roll with them, run with them, see if you can be in step with that personality type. They like the bullet points, they like things fast and make fast decisions. Whereas the other 2 personality types, the S, which is more like me, sometimes I'm often more of an S, or the conscientious, more mental type of people, they make slower decisions. So you're going to need to slow down with them and not push them. If you go too slow for the fast people, you lose them. If you push the slow people, you lose them too. So just kind of, all you have to do, if you don't know the 4 personality types, just feel the speed with which that person talks and moves. And if you're in their presence, you can match their volume, their tone of voice, and you can kind of get a feel. Are they a fast or slow person? And try to be in step with that. Also, know your own personality and even your own time of day. I think the law of timing can apply to if you're a morning or a night person. When you're the most productive. If you're productive in the morning and you poop out at night, then do your most income producing or toughest things first during the day before you lose your energy. So a few more tips. I'll turn it over to Jeff right now.
So guys, with that, leading others to the law of timing, it says basically you've got to read each situation. Each situation is unique. You're not going to go into the same, maybe the same activity. The situation is going to change based on the people you're around. Review your major actions. That's basically reviewing what you do on a regular basis to be able to recruit, what your schedule's like. Review it to see, are you doing things at the proper time? Spend time analyzing basically any failed activities, failed goals. What have you tried to accomplish and it just not worked out? What have you tried to go do and it not worked? That's where a coach comes in to help out. And then prepare to engage in future plans is just, what is the timing moving forward? Where do you plan on being in the next 2 to 5 years? You have to look over, what you've done, but don't continuously look back. Some people live in the past. They're like, I have some people, no matter when I get together with them, they're like, well, this happened and this happened. I mean, they're talking about things that happened in high school, things that happened when they were married, and it's been a decade. If it's been a decade, you need to let go and move forward. You've had 10 years to get over it. You've had 10 years to fix it. You've had 10 years to move forward, but you're still dwelling on something that was 10 years ago, which basically means you haven't lived in the last 10 years. You're still dwelling on and fixated on something that happened a decade ago. And to them, it probably was just yesterday. Why? They bring it up every single conversation they have. Teaching statements for the law. My organization is always kind of just lagging. They're not really, moving forward. They're not doing what they need to be doing. That's a say, hey, timing has a lot to do with that. Let's look at what you're doing. It takes my followers a long time to warm up to an idea. Maybe that has to do with timing. Maybe that has to do with your explanation of what's going on or how you're doing things. My team complains that they just get used to one idea and then all of a sudden, you know, we're on to doing something else. If it takes people 10 years to kind of feel comfortable with what you're doing, you probably have the wrong people. Think about this: in direct sales and network marketing and building a business, the number one thing you're going to run into is change, because the programs are going to change, the comp plans can change, the product lines can change, the delivery systems can change, your contact. But at the heart of it, those things are the same. Hey, Peggy's with us. What's happening, Peggy? So those things remain the same. So you get into a rhythm, you get into a flow, and you move forward. The best thing you can possibly do is bring on new people. When you bring on new people and you show them how to do it, what it can do is encourage the people who might be hanging out, who might be watching, who might think it's hard, who might think it doesn't work. When you bring on brand new people and they take off, what it does is it shows them that all of their excuses, all of their negativity, anything that's going on that isn't working, it shows them it has nothing to do with the company or the program. It has to do with their activity, what they're thinking, what they're doing. So timing has a lot to do with it. The best thing that I can say is just focus on new people consistently. The business is all about the newest person. If you've sat and you're still training somebody after a year on just recruiting their first couple people, they're just not ready. It has nothing to do with them not understanding what to do. They're just not ready to do it. So it's just move on, next person, next person, next person. Julie actually asked a question there. You know, I've been working with somebody all month, you know, that's really not ready to go. You know, what do I do? I don't wait more than a week. If I don't see activity, if I don't see movement in a week, I kind of put that person into the follow-up system, stay friends with them, stay in touch with them. But there probably is not going to be another word about them going to do something. Hey, let's do this. Hey, let's do that. If they're not moving within a week, they're not going to move until they're ready. So I just say, hey, just let me know. Let me know when you're ready. Let me know when you're ready. You know, some people getting ready takes, 30 minutes. Some people getting ready takes 30 years. I don't have that kind of time. I'm going to move forward with the ones that want to do it now. So with that, I'll turn this back over to Bess and we'll go from there.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. And by the way, that things change, like like you mentioned, Jeff, the comp plan and the products, and maybe what our special is this week or our focus is this month. Those things change, but the old basics do stay the same. You know, the old 10 core basics, like we teach on the Sunday night class. So we want to be the same with those, and constant and repetitive, and until people get those. But the other things around that are certainly going to change. So that's a good thing to consider in the law of timing. How to apply this law. Review your recent major actions and how much attention did you give to timing in those. So how much room is there for improvement? Number 2, analyze your failures. Were they the wrong action or the wrong timing? And then number 3, check the things that Jeff spoke about. You know, do you understand? Are you standing in the other person's shoes? Is your motive right at the right and at the right time? Do you know what needs to be done when? Are you using your intuition? And are you prepared? You know, timing, opportunity loves preparation, is it? So if you have the information, if you have the sign-up forms with you, you won't be kicking yourself if that person wanted to sign up and you didn't have the materials right with you. So Facebook is not allowing me to see comments or to make a comment or see attendees right now. So I wonder if there's any questions that you can see, Jeff. This is a good time to leave your questions. Takeaways, what did you get? Did you get your $1 million idea that you can put into action, that you can grow your 1% today? Questions about leadership, timing, or network marketing. This is your chance to get coached by 2 excellent network marketing coaches.
I don't see anything else. Julie had written, just that she had been working with somebody all month and what to do with somebody who, she's working with referrals, but nothing's really come out of it. If somebody keeps giving you referrals, I keep presenting to the people they're giving to me. That's activity, even if it hasn't necessarily happened yet. I just stay true to, the path of what we're doing. If they keep bringing people, we keep sharing it with them. It's when somebody, you know, ceases activity at all that it's time to move on. Bess, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, and ask your referrals for referrals. So that's a Bob Berg wrote this book called Never Ending Referrals. So great. Keep using the favor script that that we teach, that Jeff created. Hey, would you do me a favor? I'd like to let you know what I'm doing in case you run across the right person to refer them to me. So you can use that with your referral people too. And then put them in your follow-up files, right? To keep checking back with them till it's their high noon.
So true.
If y'all are not yet a member of the MLM Lunchtime Leadership Show Facebook group, you can go there, get a free book, get replays, notices, community support. We have good discussions there about leadership. You'll meet the most wonderful people there. Also love to hear your thoughts and your wisdom. Drop us a note there, or drop into the comments a tip that you might have about leadership. This is a place to share as well as ask questions. Who would like to be on my text reminder list for this show? Because I do text people before the show. Helps you to get back on. Do your personal growth daily. A little personal growth every day for your business. Essential, crucial. So join us at these lunchtime leadership shows, and you've taken care of that.
Awesome, awesome. Julie says she's been using the script. She said, thank you. It's really been working out. So what we found is everybody who's been using that script, do me a favor. I want to share with you what we're doing. So if you run into the right person, you could refer them off to us. That script works, you know, with people you know, with people you don't know. It's the easiest way I've ever found to be able to present to people who you might have already, you know, had a conversation with, already talked to, family members, friends, super successful people. When you ask it that way, hey, I just need a huge favor. I just want to share with you what I'm doing. You might be able to run into the right person and send them my way. It just makes it easy. It makes the presentation just kind of happen. The key is staying with that theme all the way through. She says the referral script again, just so I can make sure. Yep. So she was just asking for just to be able to say it again. So that's what we found is the easiest one to do. Aim's with us. Hello. That's basically all we do is we just share what we do with people. We use our product. We tell other people about it, and you know, look for the, you know, wish for the best in who we're talking to. We just want people to succeed. And what you want to do is make as many people advocates of what you do. I mean, think about this. If you had 10 or 12 people who are out there constantly looking for people for you, they're not even on your team. They don't care to be in direct sales, in network marketing. They're not looking for the accolades, the money. They don't want to be on stage. Now, here's the funny thing. You have to realize that a lot of people will say one thing but do something opposite. They'll say, oh my gosh, I'm broke. Oh my gosh, I don't have money. Oh my gosh, I can't. Oh my gosh. They have no intention of changing it. You're not looking for the people complaining. You're looking for the people who want to change it. That's who you want to really talk to. That's who you want to work with. So just keep that in mind when you're out there working and talking with people. With that, we're ready to wrap it up. Bess, any closing thoughts?
Well, those complaining people may know ready people. So that's why we do the referral. And like Jeff said, stay with the referral angle. You know, never make it about them, because don't worry, they'll be thinking of themselves as they're thinking of other people, and you present the wonderful stuff you have. And I'm so thrilled to share that, because we've been getting such awesome people say, oh, it's like a 2-for-1. They not only give me referral, but they get prospected in the process. And like Jeff says, it's good even for people who've already said no to you, because now it's not about them. So when you stay in that referral angle, it's indirect, and people keep their minds open then. So that's one of the things that we teach in our Sunday Night Basics class. I have to plug it because I'm excited about it. But yes, that's offered today. Tomorrow's MLM Lunchtime Leadership Show is law number 20, the law of explosive growth. I love the potential in that. And that's about developing other leaders, right? Not just being a leader, but developing leaders. Duplication.
Awesome. With that, guys, we appreciate everybody for jumping on. We appreciate everybody for watching. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your shares. And like always, we do this every day, Monday through Friday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow for law number 20. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.